Well, good morning and welcome. Good morning, yes, indeed. And good morning to the Lancaster County Staff Meeting, Board of Commissioners meeting. This is December the 17th, 2018. For introductions, we have on my left is Commissioner Deb Shore and Commissioner Sean Flowerday, the Vice Chair also. And on my right, we have Commissioner Krista Yoakum and Commissioner Rick Vest. I'm Commissioner Roma Amundson, Chair of the Board. Will you please join with me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, and Mr. Clerk, will you begin the agenda, please?
A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located on the wall at the rear of the hearing room. Additionally, a copy of all written material to be discussed at today's open meeting is available from the county clerk staff at the front of the hearing room. The material can also be viewed on the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Agenda item 1 are minutes. Approve of the minutes of the Board of Commissioners meeting held on Tuesday, December 10th, 2019.
I move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Any discussion or any corrections? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Yoakum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 2 are claims. Approval of all claims processed through December 17th, 2019.
I move approval.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the claims. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Yoakum,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 3 is a special presentation. Recognition of Tyler Luby for his winning entry in the Build a Better Mousetrap competition, and Roger Huskenvelt for obtaining his highway superintendent license promotion to maintenance supervisor. Pam Dingman, Lancaster County Engineer.
So I would like to recognize Tyler first. So for those of you who are not aware, Tyler was the Nebraska winner of the Build a Better Mousetrap. So we got this awesome plaque. I think this is pretty cool, right? Yeah. I'll let you hold it. So I kind of think that Tyler should have won the regional competition, because the regional competition, they use the jaws of life to straighten pipes. In which that's not really an invention. So, buddy, I'm sorry, I think you were robbed. That being said, I just wanted to talk a little bit about what Tyler has built for the county. This is a picture of Tyler and his family. And so he obviously has a very cute family, right? And this is a picture of the platform which he created, the safety step. You may or may not be aware that as we go out and replace signs, the signs are actually much taller than you think when you're in your car. So in order to get a safe place to hang a sign, we either have the truck or really we had nothing. And so what we were trying to do is prevent the problem of people falling. Ron, did you make this?
Yeah, I was gonna say, who is that?
Making an L tap.
All right. This is a picture of the step folded up in the truck. The design and assembly of this, along with the components and the paint powder coating, was under $1,000. Here's a picture of how it works from the back of the truck. It has 2 handles that fold out, creating a platform that you can stand on in the truck. This gives us one more location one more way to be able to install signs. Often when we lose signs, we lose them in large quantities, sometimes from wind, sometimes from theft, and we need more than just the sign truck to go out and put these signs up. We do replace about 1,300 signs a year, so having another way to safely replace signs is really and awesome. So I want to thank Tyler for putting this together. We talked to him about it, and he just went and did it. And so these are the things that are innovative and they protect our employees. And so I'm really proud that we were able to win the Build a Better Mousetrap for Nebraska this year. Thanks. So that was presentation number one. I didn't know if you guys had anything you wanted to say.
Well,
Congratulations.
yeah,
That's great.
congratulations.
Thank you for being so resourceful.
Yeah.
Did you lay awake in bed at night thinking, how I'm going to fix this? How did it pop into your mind?
Ron had come to me with an idea of his own, that he had found some pre-made design and it was not able to reach out the side of the pickup. So you weren't able to reach the signs without maybe damaging the side of the pickup or anything. So I just put it together. That's just what I do when I'm building steel projects, I guess.
Perfect.
You did a good job.
That's great.
It would be called natural talent.
And you know, what's really important about it is that you are actually increasing the safety of your coworkers.
Yes.
So that's really significant. Thank you so much for that.
There's someone you work with who's not going to get hurt now because
Yeah.
of this. So good job.
Yeah, yep.
So it is significant. I know that you have many more ideas, and the next time we do something, I'm just gonna hope and pray that you're not robbed from the crown of regional champion. So anyway, thank you.
Is this something that you could patent?
Oh, good question.
You could, yeah.
Well, maybe you want to check it out.
I mean, I like the design. It's a very unique design, and it saves the pickup box from being cluttered up with other stuff, so.
Check out the patent office.
Yeah, all right, thanks.
Thank you. The next presentation is to Roger Husenfeld, and Roger, if you wanted to come up. So Roger actually took the highway superintendent test this last time around, and he passed it. So I have this, right? How awesome is that? And so last winter, I don't know if I should tell the story, but I'm going to tell it anyway, okay?
Okay.
Last winter,
Get it right.
I know, right? Roger's in a broken down truck. And I drove out so that he didn't have to sit in the cold, and we waited for Mr. Bohati to come so that we could get his truck back to the shop. But during that time, he said, "You know, I'm thinking about taking that highway superintendent's test." And I was like, "You should do that because all of the knowledge and background that it gives you that will help make you more successful at your job." And so Roger applied to take the test. He took the classes, he studied, he passed the test, and he's been recently promoted to district superintendent. And so, which is exciting, right?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, and so I'm happy to announce that he has passed his test, which is a major accomplishment. And I'm also happy to announce that he has been promoted to district superintendent. So,
Excellent.
Roger, if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about the process of preparing for and taking the test, because we don't know anything about that.
Well, it's a pretty in-depth test. The book study guide is that thick. There's a lot of information, lots of codes, state statutes that you need to learn, and no way to memorize it all because there's just a vast amount of it. It's all about the road structure, not only the design of the road and the standards of the road that need to be, when we rebuild or maintain a road, there's standards. So that teaches you all of those. All of those standards are statutes, which is law. So that's all there. You got to learn that. Plan reading, budgeting, not only figuring out, which was what I thought was very interesting, is the tax process of where the money comes from. How do we get it? You know, you get that question all the time. Well, where does the money come from? Well, by taking this class and doing this test, I have a better, and I don't understand it completely, but it's
Nobody really.
well, yeah, I mean, just, you know, I got a sheet of paper that was this big, and it was completely full with, you know, if you get it from here, you get to here, to here, to here. Yeah, it was really complicated, but they do a really good, the NDOT does a really good job of giving us information and study. The instructors there were very thorough, and there was 2 days with LTAP doing basically test procedures, how to test. You forget that,
yeah.
you know, and it's ninth grade algebra, and you forget that. And so you gotta learn how to do that again. And then there was actually 3 days with NDOT on studying all of this information, plus 8 hours of videos to watch. And you get to study all this, and then it's a 6-hour test, broke up in two day, or 2 time, a morning class, morning test schedule, and then an afternoon, which, and there's essay, math, plan reading, true, false, multiple choice. So it's, when you're done, it's a nice feeling to be, and then you wait for a month before you get the letter to tell you whether you pass, so you open the letter and it's like, do I want to open it? No, I got to. And it was nice to be able to read that. Congratulations.
It's good.
It was good.
Did
So-
you pass on your first attempt?
Yes, I did, yes.
Good for you.
Yeah, but
Congratulations.
There was a lot of hours of reading and studying and reviewing, but yeah, it was intense. It's not an easy thing to do. As guys that have taken it, it's not easy. It's a tough test to pass.
so you feel as though you've been through the ringer.
Well, that wasn't, it was tough. It wasn't real bad, but I mean,
Okay.
it's a commitment. You really got to spend a lot of time. I mean, you got to go back to school. When you've been out of school a long time, you forget about all them study habits and how to kind of go through all of that. But it was,
Well, congratulations
thank
also.
you. Thank you.
Congratulations also on your promotion. We want to keep you here in Lancaster County and not in another county steal you away. So hope
yeah.
you finish your career here.
I hope to, yes. That's my goal.
Terrific.
Congratulations.
Well, very good.
Thank you.
I would just like to add that I really appreciate and am truly thankful for Roger's dedication to the county and his dedication to educating himself so that we had the ability to promote him from within.
That's
So
huge.
It's a big deal. Thank you.
Number 4, consent items. These are routine business items that are expected to be adopted without dissent. Any individual item may be removed for special discussion and consideration by a commissioner or by any member of the public without prior notice. Unless there's an exception, the items will be approved as one with a single vote of the Board of Commissioners. The items are approval of amendments to the following county contracts. C-18-756 with Gulls LLC for annual supply county corrections uniforms. C-18-486 with Envirotech Services for liquid de-icing products. C-17-190 with Culligan for Lincoln, with Culligan of Lincoln for annual supply water softener salt. C-18-315 with Felsberg, Holt, and Ullvig for additional services related to the replacement of County Bridge F-88. C-18-581 with Board of Regents at the University of Nebraska on behalf of the University of Nebraska-Lincoln's Law Psychology Program. C-17-882 with St. Monica's for substance abuse evaluations and substance abuse education classes for female inmates in custody of the Lancaster County Jail. Amendment to grant contract C-18-164 with the City of Lincoln for improved community response to sexual assault and legal advocacy relating to protection orders and immigrants program. Settlement agreement and release with Tori Korkowski.
Move approval of the consent items?
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the consent items. Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 5 is a public hearing amendment to Article 2 of the Lancaster County Air Pollution Control Program Regulations and Standards.
Done. Well, we will open this public hearing then.
Good morning, Commissioners.
We'll need to swear you both in. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
I do.
Pat Lopez, Interim Health Director at Lincoln Lancaster, and Scott Holmes, the Manager of our Environmental Health Division. We just have, bringing forward to you today, a minor change in our noise
Air rigs.
air rigs. And Scott will explain a little bit what it is.
We did noise yesterday, so
Yes.
City Council. So our air program exists to protect public health in Lincoln Lancaster County. And we have adopted regulations which are basically the same as the state of Nebraska for most regulations of industries. The definition section in the air regs is 20 pages long, just to give you a sense of the complexity of the air regs. And within those definitions, we identified that we had a typographical error relative to one of the definitions, and we're changing that. It makes it consistent then with both federal and state regulations. The second portion of the regulations that we're proposing to change involves some clarification so that industries are not confused about how their permits apply. If you are a business and you are going to build something that has a potential of emitting air pollution, you have to get a construction permit to start that construction. If you operate and emit air pollution on a regular basis, you have to have an operating permit. And those two permits exist coinciding for years. And the way it was written made it sound like a new operating permit overruled the existing construction permit, and that's really not how it works. So we're changing that language so it's not confusing to folks that are working with those regulations. And that's what we're doing, very simple stuff this time. Next time it'll probably be a lot more, as many of you know. So, yeah. Happy to answer any questions.
Scott and Pat walked me through these changes. They're both real minor and make total sense. So.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay,
Thank you.
well, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone to speak in support of, in opposition to, or in a neutral capacity? Seeing no one come forward, we'll close the public hearing, and let's go on to correlating item 6A.
This is under new business, a resolution in a matter of amending Article 2 of the Lincoln Lancaster County Air Pollution Control Program Regulations and Standards.
I move approval.
I'll second.
You have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 6B is a resolution in a matter of designating banks as depositories for Lancaster County for 2020.
Move approval. I'll second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. C is a resolution in a matter of federal assistance from the Department of Transportation through the Emergency Relief Program for the Federal Highway Administration for emergency repairs at County Bridge K-121.
Pam Dingman, Lancaster County Engineer. As the commissioners are aware, Bridge K-121, located on Adams Street in between 84th Street and 98th Street, was critically damaged in the bomb cyclone event of March of 2019. I have put a photo of what this structure looked like. It is a bridge-length box culvert. After the flood, what becomes interesting, of course, is we later discovered that this structure had a 4 to 5 foot deep hole underneath it. And once the road was closed, the structure actually began to sink. So we were fortunate enough to have the Federal Highway Administration approve this as an emergency project, which is 80% reimbursable. And today we have this new, very awesome box culvert in the same location that we hope will last us another 100 years. And so these projects, we have been being reimbursed very quickly for them. D88, of course, was the other project up on Agnew Road. Once you approve this, I suspect that we may be reimbursed before the end of the week. What I do want to be sure that I have conveyed to the commissioners is, of course, this reimbursement isn't necessarily in my budget. So although I am reimbursed for it and I built the box culvert, I don't necessarily have the spending authority for these funds. So at mid-year budget, you will see me come forward and ask for the authority to spend these funds so that our program can get back to the even up point. So, thank you.
I move approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. D is a resolution in a matter of authorizing the county clerk to issue payments while the county board is adjourned.
Move approval. I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 6E is an interlocal agreement with the Lower Platte South Natural Resource District to control erosion and stabilize streams as part of the Little Salt Creek Watershed Master Plan.
Pam Dingman, Lancaster County Engineer, and
David Potter, Assistant General Manager, Lower Platte South NRD.
so this morning, and I have more exhibits, I have listed Exhibit A from the interlocal agreement, which is in your packet. And if we're to look at Exhibit A, it's actually structure number 2, the red dot number 2. For the commissioners who are newer, this is actually from the Little Salt Master Drainage Plan. And so you may or may not be aware that the NRD, in cooperation with the City of Lincoln Stormwater, has these master drainage plans that we do around the county. Drainage planning is very, very important. And so one of the things that this plan calls out is at the location of dot 2, which happens to coincide with bridge number F88 that we're working on, that we put a drop structure there, a grade control structure, to keep the creek from getting wider and deeper. These are really important because they not only lock in the assets, the future assets of the city, as far as keeping these creeks from getting wider and deeper, but also protect future assets of the county. And so as we look at this location, what will happen is we'll replace the bridge, but the NRD and Lincoln Stormwater Management will put a drop structure in there that will anchor that in for the future. And so as you may recall, Bridge F88 looks like this. If you're driving over it on North 14th Street, about 2.5 miles out of the city, hey, it looks like a great bridge. What lies underneath is this. We have, this bridge is scour critical and structurally deficient. We have a lot of rust on it. And of course, it also has a lot of scour. This project fits in with our future focus of North 14th Street and stabilizing the infrastructure on North 14th Street, which actually has about 4 to 5 bad bridges in about 3 miles. Did you have anything else you wanted to add, Mr. Potter?
The county will be the lead on this particular project. The NRD has already approved the interlocal agreement, as you can see with the signature in place back on March 20th of 2019. So it is before you. We're eager to get started on this particular project, just as the county engineering department is.
And you also may note that on your consent agenda, you approved yet another addendum. We are still trying to get the permit to build this bridge. It is in critical saline wetlands and tiger beetle habitat, and I believe we're just under $50,000 in cost to acquire that permit at this time. So hopefully this last change order gets us across the finish line.
I believe this is the 3rd project in that Little Salt Creek Master Plan.
I believe it is, and hopefully we can do another project at some point in the future for the bridge on Agnew Road. Not that I would always be looking for the next project, Mr. Potter.
We've got a few out there we need to get completed.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I will move approval of the interlocal agreement. I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the interlocal agreement. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 6F is a real estate sales agreement between Lancaster County, the City of Lincoln, the Day Family Trust, and the Barbara D. Day Revocable Trust for real estate legally described in the agreement.
Pam Damian, Lancaster County Engineer. So as I throw another exhibit onto the overhead, today I bring forward the purchase for the East Beltway of the Day property. As you may or may not be aware, there is an existing interlocal agreement between the city and the county to purchase property that comes up in the East Beltway corridor. This is a significant purchase. It will significantly deplete our East Beltway corridor fund. We split that cost with the city, so the cost for the appraisal, and we actually split the staff time too. So as I bring this forward, this is a piece of property that arose this year. We have another 3 or 4 properties that we're in discussions with, and in the last year, those discussions have started happening a lot more often. And so I remain concerned about the East Beltway Corridor Fund. And I think it's really important that we continue to purchase property in this corridor for the future development of the East Beltway.
I will move approval.
Second.
You have a motion and a second to approve this. Any discussion?
Have we made any disbursements for the last bit of ground we purchased? What was that, 10 months ago, 11 months ago? Do we know?
I think when, I did speak to you earlier, this calendar year about the number of requests we had in the East Beltway corridor. I believe this will be the first disbursement that we're recommending in this calendar year. So, but I do remain concerned.
Am I crazy? Didn't we buy something over by Waverly, behind the?
This is that
This
piece.
is that-
This is that piece. It's okay.
This is finally
Yeah,
coming up.
Yeah.
This is that
Yeah, we've
piece.
been in discussion for
I thought there was
months.
something else.
months,
Yeah.
months,
Okay.
months.
Yeah, 'cause that was like one of the first things that yep, great.
I try not to come forward with surprises. That doesn't always happen as the engineer, but yes, again, we've talked about this off and on for about the last year.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay. Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 6G is setting a public hearing on Tuesday, January 14th, 2019, I think should be 2020, regarding text amendment number 19009 to amend the Lancaster County zoning regulations by adding conditions to Article 13-014 for campgrounds and amending Article 16-003 for signs.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Kent Seacrest. I represent Dave and Jolene Queen, who are the applicants for two matters. One, they are the current operator for Campaway, which is up on the I-180, Interstate 80 interchange area, and they have been operating under a lease with the city, and the city has given them notice that in 2023 or 4 or 5, they need to vacate that property. So we're in the process of trying to figure out where to put the new campground situation. We have found a property up on Davie Road at US 77, and we applied for two things. The special permit for campgrounds, which is what required under the county code, and secondly, to shore up the language, kind of what it takes to authorize a special permit. Right now, under a lot of your special permit categories, you have lots of things that have to be complied with. For some reason, when it comes to campgrounds, there's not one thing required. And we just knew that that was not reasonable or practical, and so the Queens, working with staff and your county attorney, have come up with a proposed set of amendments to add substance to what it takes to approve a campground, as well as the actual special permit. Well, we went to Planning Commission 2 weeks ago, and we had enough, it was a spirited discussion of about 6.5 hours. Discussion, but it got complicated and extra long because we had 2 different public hearings on both matters, and everybody just repeated themselves. So hopefully we've learned our lesson, and that won't happen the second time when it comes back to you. But what's interesting on this one is at the time we voted on the language to shore up what it takes to do the special permit itself, it passed on a 5-3 vote, and 5 means it can keep going forward with you. When we got to the special permit, which is final action at Planning Commission, we didn't have, one of the commissioners had to leave, so it was a 4-3 positive vote. You need 5 to get it approved, so it will be on the Planning Commission this Wednesday. Now, it's supposedly final action, but I suspect regardless of the outcome, it will be appealed to you. And it just seems common sense to us that it would be best for you to hold both of those hearings in the same day because they are so interrelated. And so here's the challenge. You're scheduled to put the what I call the meats and potato of the special permit text in for a public hearing on January 14th. So I'm asking you to delay that. But what's hard is we haven't approved the special permit until Wednesday, or deny it is possibility. And we haven't appealed it, and whoever appeals it has 2 weeks to decide when to appeal it. So it's really not very clear when that special permit will show up. But I'm asking to work with you to get both hearings on the same date. And how staff recommends we do this, I take all wisdom into account to ask what's the best route. I just think it's in your interest for sanity purposes to take 1 day of your life and not 2 days of your life on this one. And with that, I'd answer any questions.
Well, and I think it's important to have all 5 of us here because it's going to be a very controversial issue just based upon previous testimony. So I think working with staff, we can find a day in the future when we're all here and maybe block it out and hold it so we can have all viewpoints heard.
That would be awesome.
And so basically, you're just asking for a delay?
Yeah,
And so,
delay to allow the actual special permit to get appealed and get caught up with the main body of what it takes to do a special permit for campgrounds.
I would ask for a motion to that effect.
I would move that we delay the public hearing until we have more clarity on the process involving the special permit.
I would second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
My only advice would be maybe if instead of delaying, maybe just make a motion to set the public hearing at a later date. Direct the clerk to be able to do that based on speaking with you guys on a day that works for each of you. That way she can go forth and do that.
Okay.
Get more information.
Would you?
No, sorry. How is that
So
different?
just to delay.
What she said.
Yeah.
Can that work? Yeah, I would move that we reschedule to a later date once we've established when all 5 commissioners will be here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, by the clerk. Yeah.
Authorize the clerk, is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
We're going to get there. We're going to get this motion made. Yeah, so I would move that we authorize the clerk to set the date based on the availability of all 5 commissioners.
I second all that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for all of that.
All of that?
Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 6H is a subaward agreement with the State of Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services Division of Children and Family Services to reimburse the county for child support enforcement for a period of October 1st, 2019 through September 30th, 2020 as follows. $290,440 for services provided by the Lancaster County Child Support Referee. $1,575,750 for services provided by the Lancaster County Attorney's Office. And $398,102 for services provided by the Clerk of the District Court.
Boy, I move approval of that one.
A second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the subaward agreements. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 6I is a contract with Cone Inc. to provide annual service elevator, escalator service, maintenance, and testing. The contract shall be effective January 1st, 2020 through December 31st, 2024. The cost of county is not to exceed $25,920.
Move approval?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second for approval. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. J is a contract with General Reporting Services for transcription services related to the notice of appeal and request for a bill of exceptions filed with the Lancaster County Clerk's Office. This agreement is effective the date of execution through December 6, 2020. There is no cost to the county.
I just want to let you know the version that was on the agenda, some of the numbers needed updated based on the number of exhibits and things from the Sunset Poultry hearings. So I just ask that you move approval with those changes that update the estimate amounts.
I will move approval with the updated estimated amounts.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Please call, any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, is there any,
Next is number 7, public comment. Those wishing to speak on items relating to county business not on agenda may do so at this time.
is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak? Seeing none, let's move to the announcements.
The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold a staff meeting on Tuesday, December 17th, 2019 at 10 a.m. or immediately following the Board of Equalization, and Thursday, December 19th, 2019 at 8:30 a.m. in the Bill Luxford Studio of the County City Building. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will be in recess from December 20th, 2019 through January 6th, 2020. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold its next regular meeting on Tuesday, January 7th, 2020 at 9 a.m. in Room 112 of the County City Building with the Board of Equalization immediately following. County Commissioners can reach at 402-441-7447 or commission@lancaster.ne.gov. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting is broadcast live on Link TV City. For the rebroadcast schedule, visit lincoln.ne.gov. Meetings are also streamed live on Link TV and can be viewed on YouTube.
I move we adjourn.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second for adjournment. Please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Meeting is adjourned, and please, and let's move on to the Board of Equalization.
A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located on the wall at the rear of the hearing room. Additionally, a copy of all written material to be discussed at today's open meeting is available from the county clerk staff at the front of the hearing room. The materials can also be viewed on the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov.
It's framed.
Agenda item 1 are minutes. Approval of the minutes of the Board of Equalization meeting held on Tuesday, December 3rd, 2019.
It's in both places.
I move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion or any corrections? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 2 is notice of assessed valuation change for property taxation purposes. This is for David and Kimberly Kubat.
Good morning, Scott Gaines, Deputy County Assessor, Register Deeds. This is another property an appraiser in our office discovered recently without a building permit being provided to our office, so just recommending this valuation notice be sent to the taxpayer.
I move approval.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the notice of assessed valuation change. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 3 is a public hearing. This is for a motor vehicle tax exemption application for Our Lady of Guadalupe Seminary.
Okay, we'll open the public hearing. Anybody wishing to come up and speak? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing.
Next is number 4, action on motor vehicle tax exemption applications.
Move approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the motor vehicle tax exemption application. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 5 is public comment. Those wishing to speak on items relating to County Board of Equalization business non-agenda may do so at this time.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to adjourn. Please call the roll.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.